Hey guys, today I'm going to show you some top tips for tapping with Dennis Engineering. So most of you probably know about taps, or if you haven't, these are taps. And yeah, you've probably heard of the 3-stage tap where you start from, no thread, medium thread to full thread cutting. But I just thought I'd quickly let you guys see that you get a couple of different types from a standard machine tap, which you just use in one operation. This type of tap will push the swarf or the threads that are cut outside the bottom of the hole, so it's really good for a through hole. And then you also get a bit of a nicer tap, or a cooler tap, which is a spiral flute tap. And what that does is, because of the spiral cut, it actually pulls the cut threads outside the back or towards you when cutting thread. So that's really nice for a blind hole. And with these taps you can just go straight into the pilot hole without having to sort of go in different stages. Okay, so now we're going to move on to actually drilling and tapping a hole. Today I've selected to tap an M6 thread into a piece of aluminium. And with an M6 standard metric tap, the tap drill for that is a 5mm drill. So the first thing we're going to do is mark off our material where we want to drill it, just center punch it. We'll just quickly use a center drill just to start the hole, and then we will drill the hole out to 5mm. If we want to just pop a hole where we're going to try and drill that first, that little hole to tap, so we're going to be using a little center drill just to pilot that hole. Make sure we get a 5mm drill. Once you've got a nice drilled hole and it's to the right size, we're going to either form or cut the threads into the material. I'm just going to be using a machine tap today, but you could use any of the different taps that I talked about earlier. So when you're tapping a hole, you want to make sure that you start the tap nice and square in the hole. So what you can do to make sure that you do this right is try and get 1 or 2 threads in, and then take a square and check it at 90 to make sure that your tap is lined up nice and square to your material. Once you've got that going, then you probably want to turn about a 180 or a 90 turn, and then come backwards another 90 degrees just to break off each thread. You can kind of feel, once you get used to it, how much you need to turn before you have to pull the tap out to clean it off. But I'd say you never really want to go more than 3 or 4 turns. With tapping, you also want to be really gentle. You don't want to be throwing the tapping wrench around. You just want to keep a nice consistent torque on the tap, because the worst thing you want is for the tap to actually break off in that hole. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe my top 3 tips for tapping would be: make sure you have the correct size drill. If it's undersized, then you're going to struggle to tap the hole. Make sure that your tap is nice and square to the hole that you've drilled. And the last one would be to just take it easy and go slowly and concentrate. Focus on the job that you're trying to tap, and don't try and have a conversation or look around the workshop while you're trying to do it. Yeah, and then one last tip would definitely be a good cutting fluid or lubricant while you tapping. You want to make sure that those cutting teeth are nicely well lubricated so that you can get a really good cut. Cool, thanks for watching.